reflecting upon your past experiences, realizing race played a role in some of them, and whatnot. What do you want to communicate to people about your story and your journey as it relates to the subject of race, particularly? Like, is there some message that you want to get across to your audience? Is there something you want to tell people? And if so, what is that message that you want to put out there in the world?
You know, I think one of the biggest hurdles that I had to overcome, I think, just to be able to write about race in what I hope is an honest way. Um, I look back and I think in the beginning, so for example, when I started going to school with white folks, I feel like the way we, or at least the way I thought about it was, aren't I lucky that they let me go to school with them? Because that's how it was presented, right? Was that you're going to, you're going to get the good stuff now. And it's ironic because I was talking to my wife about this the other day. The school I went to the year before I went to the white school was a brand new school. There was nothing wrong with it. It was just all Black people. And so I was sold on the idea that I needed them to be um, valid, or I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I think um, all along the way, not necessarily on purpose, but just in retrospect, you're looking, you get fooled into um, sort of seeking approval of white folks. And I think the biggest hurdle that I had to overcome as a writer was not being afraid of what they might think about what I had to say. Um, I lost some friends, guys that I know that, because when you start a newsletter, you just blast it out to every email that you have. And I knew there were guys that I had worked with that I thought were just, I didn't think of them as being racist. And boy, maybe I don't know, I wrote something and man, it just, here it comes. And so for me, it was a wake up call to, and I don't know if I'm answering your question, to be honest. It's just a thought that, you know, I guess as Black folks, I think too many times we unconsciously are worried about what are the white folks going to think if I do X, or, when I first started writing, if you go back and look at the first few things that I wrote, they didn't talk about race that much. It was more, the economy, and I was being real safe because I didn't know. A job might come along, and they're gonna look at my LinkedIn page, and they're gonna hire this radical ass Black dude. So I had to. It was easy for me on a certain level because, dude, I'll be 67 in April. So at a certain point, I was like, ain't none of these people gonna hire me anyway. What am I worried about? So I guess there's a certain amount of like freedom once you sort of throw those shackles off and go, you know what? I don't care. I don't care what they say. And you're still going to get criticized just as much, right? And so I don't know. I guess that maybe that's the message, and I don't even know if it's certainly a message that's particular to me as a Black person, but I tell my daughter and my son the same thing. It's not about Black. It's just as a person, we worry about what's so and so going to think if I do this or that, and I think it's a way we um, restrain ourselves from maybe what we can ultimately be.
Mm.
So
Yes, wise words, and yeah,
I don't know, man.
if you can
But I
encourage
think
people to
about
take
it. I
off those
think,
shackles, that's good.
well, I think about just, somebody, I don't know who's, the shots you don't take
That's
because
right.
you're
You
worried
miss
that you might
100% of the
miss.
shots. Yeah, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's important to take a risk and to make sure that you're not creating a risk where one doesn't exist, and to make sure that even if it does exist, you are you're not creating an outcome right before you've given yourself a chance to create a different one. So yeah, really important stuff there. And man, do we need bravery more than ever and courage more than ever. So it's a timely message to put out there as well. So I'm fully in support of you putting that out there, and thank you for your work. Thanks for watching. For access to the full-length conversation and all of the 2-hour long unedited conversations that I've had on race, click the support link in the description below. Thanks for your support, and see you next time.